was away?
I went to Mercer, and that's all I did. It was usual Mercer, just a bunch of kids, shot them up, went, got some B-dubs after.
Oh yeah, I got Snapchats from you at B-dubs.
Yeah.
B-dubs.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
I know what B-dubs is, my dude.
You better.
You gotta chill.
Almost
I'm a fat body. I know exactly what that means.
Oh my god, Pyatt. To be honest, like, B-dubs is trash. I'll say it. I said it.
Dry rub, don't even wait.
Their wings? Like,
I'm just there for the chicken strips
literally,
and fries.
People
just saying,
people
it's bad.
overhype their wings for no reason.
There's some serious places out there that are low, like small places that have some killer
Dude, there's a
wings.
place 30 seconds from my house that has the best wings I've ever had.
Where is that?
30 seconds from my house.
If
Yeah,
it is not
what
30
is it
seconds
called?
away, I'm gonna stop you.
Hunter, you won't be able to go because you can't get a ride. You're not allowed to drive on highways.
I mean, I'm allowed to
Correct.
drive the Warden now because I did go the one time.
Wow.
I'm
Too bad you
officially
moved
allowed.
your car.
Yeah, that's a ripperoni story.
As did
I
Jared.
just got a good bit of money from the fair, so I'm probably getting a new whip soon.
Tell us about the fair. I want to hear about the fair. I want to hear
Alright,
about
the fair
how you
sucked.
do your animals
Big
and stuff.
old
No,
fat
no, no,
wieners.
no.
It was
Go back. Start from the
95
beginning.
degrees the
Stop.
entire- no,
Stop.
that is
Chill.
not-
I
that
want you to
is
go back to the
fair.
beginning. I want you to explain I want you to explain like what you do with your cow and your goat, and then tell the goat story.
What good story? Oh no, I'm not telling a good story.
Yes, tell the goat story.
I'm not telling a good
It's a
story.
good story. I enjoyed it.
It's not a good story. I was low key angry about it at the time. I've made peace.
No, I want to
but he
hear
still
about it.
lost.
All right, tell us. It's a good story. It's a classic. Like they could make a movie out of it. I think
Honestly, they
Could they?
But
they could. You need to tell. You need to tell it. Hunter, tell
no,
it.
I'm not telling.
Jonah
you.
Hill could play Hunter in it.
That is true.
No, Jonah Hill's been losing weight though. So
Jonah
for like
Hill
the
is
fourth
like a
time.
stick.
Actually,
tell us, Hunter.
I think
I
I
wanna
might
hear-
get like.
I want to hear from the time you had your cow as a baby to the time when you swallowed a bee. Like I want everything in between that.
I mean, I saw it be weed lacking, but like,
It gave you the flu. Tell us the story. Tell us about the fair. Tell us like how you go about raising your farm animal. I'm interested, honestly.
Is it really like Farmville?
Yeah, like do you have to take the tractor and like, dude, I'm about to play for Farmville.
Yeah, chill.
Thinking that was the dopest game.
All right, can we get
ever.
on it? Can we get on a good topic though? Like
We
the
you know, like,
oppression.
we're gonna talk about the oppression. Oh my god, we can talk about the oppression for ages, but I'm trying. Like, we need to branch out, because this isn't an airsoft podcast. It's
No.
a freaking.
I want to
our
throw mad
podcast,
shade at this
like-
dude, like for real.
All right.
Them. So like, let's get on it because he's been throwing
Like-
shade at us nonstop. So let's get at him.
Oh yeah, we caught all the shade. It's like playing at the field since there's no lights because they've all got shot out. That's like how much shade it is.
Mm-hmm.
What's good? Everything airsoft. We'll talk about your comment on Socks Up Part 1.
Yeah. He recommended us to talk about the Great Depression. Like we can
Well-
talk about the Great Depression if Hunter really doesn't want to tell us about the fair. Like, I just want to hear about how it works as far as like, basically Hunter shows off his cow, and Hunter's boss that apparently fired him ended up buying his cow from him. After he showed it off to all the people at the fair. So like, I want to hear about it. Like, why
Hunter,
are you leaving us in the dark?
We're genuinely interested, and we want to share, your
it's a
fair
good
stories.
topic, right? And then the story about the goat. Oh my god, how can you not tell that story, dude?
It's like some straight up Rocky shit, dude. It is comparable to the story of Rocky.
Like, dude, Hunter, you just got to tell it because I can't. Like, just from a little bit of you told me, like, I can't tell it. I can't do it justice. God, he probably swallowed another bee.
Hunter, you just want to know,
Come
man.
on, dude.
That's dumb, TBH. Like, come on, Hunter. Come
Why are you giving us the silent treatment? I'm offended.
Hunter. Hunter.
Baby, please come back. Come back to me.
Baby, come back.
That's a
All
copyright
right.
strike right there, dude.
Baby, come back.
Why'd you just laugh like your face was in a Pringles can?
Because
Just got roasted.
That's the sound he makes when he gets to the bottom of the Pringles can and realizes there's no Pringles left.
Ooh. You say I can't? I'm drinking, my dude. It's a Saturday.
It's empty. Whatever you're drinking is empty.
No, it's not. It's half.
You're trying to get every last drop.
No, it's halfway full.
That's the positive way of thinking.
I'm
about
a
it.
beer half full kind of guy.
Oh my god! Please shut up. Can we talk about something?
I want to talk about the fair.
Nobody cares about the fair.
It's a good.
Nobody
cares about you, dude. Nobody cares about you, you greasy fat boy.
Let's talk about the Ohio State Fair.
Oh yeah, that fair. So like, you
First
guys
off, I
may
didn't
know.
know-
You guys may
I didn't
knew
know.
we're from Ohio, and you guys may know the famous YouTuber, Sure Shot Midget. Well, he works at the fair, right? So we like got that inside scoop. He's a manager at the fair. So if you guys have ever been to like Walmart, like you know the things that the fat people drive around in, or like the disabled people, like he's got his own one of those things. Pyatt, I know you know what I'm talking about. It's the one you drive around at Giant Eagle all the time. So
Pyatt got
he has his own one of those, and all he does is drive around the fair, from what I can tell. But he basically said that they forgot to tighten the bolt, and so like a tragedy happened. So like that's a whole developing story around here now.
You need to chill. It's not a tragedy. It's 5 white trash people dead. Get over it.
Wow.
Low-key about it, like, oh man.
It is truly a tragedy. I believe.
All right.
I believe you're full of shit.
Well,
Shut the fuck up, Pyatt.
I guess. Yeah. Who asked you to talk, Jacob?
Me?
Jesus fucking Christ. All you want to do is throw some fucking shade. We want to talk about some shit, then throw some shade. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. We'll talk about your shit, and then we can throw shade.
Yeah, my dude. We are going to get to it. We just gotta like let some motherfuckers know what we're like. What's going on? People died, Pyatt. People died.
Apparently, like, officially only one person has, but like there's been rumors that nobody made it. But like I don't know how accurate any of that is.
I mean, if you think about it, that whole like chair section fell off, and like that could weigh like a ton, you know, or like weigh like 1,000 pounds.
Crazy. And then what are the chances, like something like that? Oh, that's so rare to happen. Like, not even just for a ride to break down, but a ride to break down and somebody be recording it. Have you seen the other like angle of it? It's like,
no, dude, it's the Obama.
It's the
Obama fucking Obama, like what's it called? Where they like fake Sandy Hook. It's one of those. Obama set that shit up, my dude.
I don't know about that.
Trump
but
set it up.
Somebody else started recording after like it fell off, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention any
Yeah.
races
Are
or
you-
anything.
Are you talking about the video where they walk up to the bodies and all you see is like nothing moving?
No, like it was. Okay, I'll just say it. Like it was a person of dark complexion, and
What was that? What,
they ran
complexion?
right up to, like, ran past police officers and stuff, and they're like, "Oh man, his leg broke," and like that's just what they keep saying. Like, run up and start recording these people laying on the ground, like that could be dead and stuff. Like, and then you're like, "Oh man, their leg broke," and like, oh my god, like it gave me glaucoma. Hunter, why do you not talk?
So you're just quoting on how like people. I'll just say it, people of lesser education are running up to, you know, hazardous scenes with like body parts and people. And...
Well, like, they straight don't care that these people are laying on the ground dying. They just want to, like, record it and, you know, get all the drama and stuff. Like, I don't know, like, what kind of person are you to do that? Like, who are you that you think you can run past security and record these people? And then, like, oh my god.
I feel that. I mean, there's logic behind that. I mean, like, because shit's got to get cleaned up.
Like, I mean, and it was well
so
after like it happened, because, you know, they already have police on the scene, and, like, you know, they have everybody. I don't know what you call it. Like, I'm not in the medical field or anything. I don't know anything about that, but, like, in stable condition, I guess. I mean, like, obviously, like, you know, they have them all rolled over and they checked on everybody, make sure everybody's okay, whatever.
I don't think that's stable. Because I mean, like, stable means like that they're like,
you know what I mean. Like, they tried to get them, you know, in the best spot they could. You know, get them do as much as they can before the paramedics arrive. Like, that's the point they were at in the video.
like, I just wonder like how the thing landed. Because like, if it landed, like, think about it, like if it landed like you tip over a chair forwards, you know what I mean, where the arms are resting and then the head of the chair's resting, like, you could have like crushed heads. You could, like, because like I would guarantee you when that thing hit, it landed probably face down and it probably skid a little bit, so like people's legs must have been like torn off or something. Like, that's just so. And I mean, like, I am kind of meaning to be a little bit gruesome with it, but at the same time I'm really not. But Tuna Mob just said Tice peep Snapchat. I don't know who the fuck that is, but
It's probably Connor, because I literally just opened a Snapchat.
oh, he's
Oh yeah, dude. Comment whatever, my guy. Stefan is watching as well. It looks like they're having a party.
Oh, Connor for Rob's kid? Is that his name? I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
I don't know. Connor?
Yeah,
like Connor and Stefan?
Yeah, no. They worked for OIA or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, no, I know them. I just can't remember Connor's dad. That's all. I can't remember his name. It's irrelevant. Don't matter. But yeah, like, the fucking fairs, dude. That's like why you don't get on fair rides. Like, if you're gonna go to a fair, go see like the horses in like the stable.
Go see Hunter's cow. Check out his ballless goat.
His ball. Cut out his ball. You know,
Hunter, I'm about to say it if you don't, and I'm gonna butcher the story, so I don't want to butcher the story. Like, just tell us the goat story at the least.
Come on, my dude. I don't even remember it. Like, I knew that there was a twist somewhere.
All right,
there.
I'm gonna go for it. So
Alright.
basically, at this fair, the Carrollton Fair, I don't even know if it's a Carrollton Fair, whatever fair it is. And Hunter, there's a competition for like who has the best goat or whatever. And Hunter had a goat in the competition, and there was this other dude that had a goat in the competition. And I guess he was beefing with the other guy, like goat beef. They're trying to win this competition. I don't know if there's money involved or just like, a little blue ribbon that says you won, which is probably what it is. But like, Hunter was accused, the other dude accused Hunter of not deballing his goat. So like, it's a dead goat. So basically, just the way I picture it, like I wasn't there, I don't really know how it works, but Hunter won't talk. So the way I'm picturing this is they bring in their dead goat that had the balls removed, like cut off, and they throw it up on a table, and people judge who has the best goat. So the dude, basically, if your goat still has the balls on it, it's an automatic disqualification. So the man accused Hunter of, like, I guess after Hunter won or whatever, not deballing his goat. So they opened up a CIA investigation. It was pretty serious. They had
I heard
to get to the bottom of
NCIS
it.
was there.
Yeah, like they had to close down the whole section of the fair. But then they confirmed that Hunter's goat did have no balls. So Hunter won. And then Hunter also basically has like a cow at the fair. Showed everybody his cow, then he killed it and sold it. Or that he might not have killed it. I know he has like cow meat. If anybody's trying to buy like a quarter of a cow, you can hit up Hunter. He's a farmer. But I don't know.
See, I thought it was something like not the ball story, but I thought it was like the same story, but with like I thought he was like given like growth hormones or something. So like I don't know.
I didn't hear about that part.
I don't know. Like I thought the dude was like just grabbing at whatever to get Hunter like fucking get him fucked up.
I don't
With
know.
the rules
Hunter
or something.
exposed he was juicing his goat. Like, literally, just so everybody knows, like, Hunter is here, but he refuses to talk.
He's like balls deep playing
He's-
the Hunter right now.
He's also texting us, but, like, won't talk.
Yeah, he went when I told him because he's rage quit earlier because we were bullying him.
Oh, yeah, we bully Hunter a lot. Today's
It's out of
reason
love.
for bullying Hunter, basically, like, a week and a half ago, he was weed whacking his grass, looking out for all the brothers out there,
That's
trying to
not
have a
an
nice
innuendo.
looking yard. And so as he's weed whacking his grass, a bee got, like they had beef or whatever. The bee didn't like him weed eating his grass, so the bee flew down Hunter's throat, and I guess Hunter swallowed the bee. That's all good and all, but then out of nowhere, Hunter gets like strep throat or something from this bee apparently. And so like I was talking about earlier, Hunter was he was talking like super quiet and like he was a smoker for 50 years because he had like strep throat or something, so I don't know. But he's fine now. That's not why he's not talking now. Lately, he's also been doing this weird thing, like if we're talking about something, like he'll just stop talking and just listen. I don't know. I don't like it. He'll like pretend that he's not there, but if we talk over Discord, and Discord shows if you're there or not, so like he ain't slick.
Hunter, why are you? Why do you still play the Hunter, dude? The game's like 5 years old, for real.
They actually have a new version of the game.
Yeah,
But
there's
he still plays. He's paying to play the old version of the game.
dude, like he likes playing Hunter so much. Anytime they come out with a new fucking animal, like he'll hit us up on Facebook. He'll be like, guys, get on Discord, and like we'll get on, and he jumps in. First thing out of his mouth is, they added a new animal in the Hunter. Like, why? Why do you play the Hunter, my dude?
There's a new version, bro. Just get the new version.
Or just be like a normal kid and play Call of Duty and jack off all the why do I go there? Change subjects. That's fucking weird.
Alright, change subject. If anybody's got a mini map they're trying to sell, hit me up. I want a mini map.
Everything airsoft weird, not Jake Paulers.
Oh, I know Jake Paulers. My
That-
brother being one of them.
That shit's gay. Jake Pauler. Like, I don't even know.
What
like,
do you think about Jake Paul?
What I don't know a whole lot. I mean, like, I'll be honest, for Logan Paul and Jake Paul to utilize Vine in their popularity and become multimillionaires doing it, like, they're smart for doing that.
No, it's all through YouTube now.
Well, yeah, like, I'm just
Since
saying,
Vine, they got rid of Vine, like.
but they utilize Vine to get popular, and then they moved over to YouTube, and they scored like.
And to be honest, they were the cancer of Vine too.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Bixby won't shut up. Shut up! Oh my god!
What the fuck are you talking about? I don't hear nothing.
So I got this new Galaxy, the Galaxy S8 or something.
Is that like
And
the
it has like 3 personal assistants, right? It's got like the Google one, Alexa, and Bixby. Bixby is like Samsung's one, so it's like so annoying. There's a button on the side of the phone, like right by the power button, or not the power button, the volume buttons. So if you hit that button instead, Bixby pops up and starts talking to you. Like, I feel like you just don't need a whole button just for that. It's really annoying.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially when there's already like 2 other personal assistants. Like, you don't even need a third one. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, everyone like that. It kind of creeps me out, like the whole Alexa thing. Like, people are like fucking straight up. Like, I'm creeped out about it because Alexa has like voice recognition and like voice tone recognition too. Like, it can tell when you're yelling or when you're regularly talking, and like it logs all that shit to Amazon. And then like Amazon can sell that shit because like in the terms in agreement of purchasing the. Like, what people don't understand is when you purchase it, you kind of sign a end user's license agreement to basically where they can like just log anything that goes on in your house that is audible, and they can sell that to people. So like, if you talk about how you like a certain brand or anything like that, then they can sell that to like companies. Now, of course, like that's how Amazon is just cheeky and making money, and like, how other companies can buy that information and like, understand the demographic of certain areas in certain locations of like what brands are, very popular versus others. But like, that's gonna be like, when's the point when the FBI is gonna start like, oh, hey, let's hit up Amazon for some information and some like potential recordings from Alexa, or like buying habits or like Google inquiries from Alexa. Because at first, it seems like a very harmless like tool and like a fun little gadget, and then you realize that like just like Facebook, anything you put on Facebook, Facebook owns. Anything you put on Facebook, photos, posts, videos, anything on Facebook, they own it. They have every right to post that like anywhere. Like, I'm not getting super conspiracy with you because let's face it, Mark Zuckerberg, all he cares about is that guns are taken away from Americans and that he makes money. That's really all he gives a shit about. And you know, so. But dude, this guy's way fucking weird. But
I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it unless you had anything to hide.
yeah,
I don't
like
have
that's
anything to
that's
hide,
another.
to
That's
be
a,
honest. Like,
I get that. Like that's also my mindset. Like when the whole NSA Act went on, I was like, you ain't gonna find nothing but like me looking up airsoft guns and you know fucking video
right?
games and
Like
shit.
if
I'm
somebody's listening to people's phone calls, like, okay, like it's worth it to be able to find like possible terrorists. You know, like the only reason like I could see someone being legitimately worried about it, like the NSA doesn't care. Like if you're talking about personal stuff, like the NSA is not going to care. But like, you know, like so there's really no reason to, you know, worry about it unless you have something to hide.
Yeah. I mean, and another on the basis of conspiracy theories, I mean the Patriot Act. Now, for those who don't know, the Patriot Act is an act that allows the United States government, basically, I believe it's any director, head of a department, can deem any citizen a terrorist and strip them of all of their inalienable human rights and send them to Guantanamo Bay. Now, ever since Guantanamo Bay is like officially like dismantled, but really it's not officially it's not dismantled. People are still being sent there, but like, and there's no means, like there's no like clauses that prevent someone from being put on the Patriot Act list, like where, you know, like a director, head of state, like the FBI can go like, oh, you are no longer a citizen. Like there's no clauses that like defend you, and there's no clauses that allow you to become a citizen if found innocent. Basically, it's like just a black card where like, oh, you know, you're out of the game. You no longer have rights, and we're gonna permanently detain you in a shithole where, you know, like Osama bin Laden's boyfriend sitting. So, like, that's like crazy. That was all part of the Obama thing. That was when like the FEMA camps started kind of like popping up, and which, like, let's face it, FEMA camps, the Federal Emergency Medical Association or something, or no, Federal Emergency Management Association or something like that, agency, I think. They started popping up FEMA camps because it was like hurricane season. And, you know, they started popping them up in the south and a couple up in the northeast coast. And people, like, went crazy. And they were like, oh my god, they're popping up FEMA camps. And, oh, they're gonna fucking, oh no, they're gonna detain everyone on the east coast. Like, no. Everything. We'll get to the RPS rule here in a minute. We're just kind of bullshitting. just hang on, my dude. Anything else you want to add on? I'm done with the whole fucking conspiracy theory shit. I could go on for fucking hours.
Wow, I know what I want to add on. I'm just scrolling through Facebook and I just saw okay, so the one post that you keep commenting on in Gear Classifieds that says, "Let me see your AEG setups."
Oh yeah,
you put a picture of the Stinger without my permission.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my bad.
That's a stolen meme. That's a criminal act.
Reposting laws. Stolen property. Did you at least?
And you posted the stupid blurry pic of your guns, and somebody commented, "Sick paint job, dude."
Yeah, I had a slight moment of pride when I read that. But did you at least see me start? Did you at least see me?
The Sistema one.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, I was actually legitimately offended by, like, this dude was like defending a Sistema against an upgraded AEG. I was like there's no, and then he made the comparison against Gen 3 dual tubes versus a Gen 1 single tube, and I was like, this is not a comparable, like,
oh no,
debate.
Like at that point he's just, you know, saying like,
yeah, it's just a kid who has disposable daddy income and is just trying to
be honest,
flex.
he has an Instagram. Oh my god, he's fat. So.
Oh yeah, I peeped his Facebook for sure.
Oh, I didn't look at his Facebook.
But I was just like, yeah, like that's just daddy money, cause the kid's like my age, and I doubt that he can afford like fucking what is it, like $7,000 Sentinels. So.
Not that expensive, to be honest.
I mean, like in comparison to other dual tubes, like Gen 3 dual tubes, like
if you got a job and live at home.
I mean, you can afford them if you got if you got a job or live at home. Like, I could afford. I just don't see the premise and I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I do want to get Gen 3s like eventually, but at the same time, like I don't need to go straight to getting dual tube Sentinels. You know.
Think about how much money you save in the long run, though, because that's the ultimate. Like, that's eventually where you will end up. Like, think about how much money you could have saved, like, when you first started doing the hobby and whatever, if you would have just straight up bought what you have now instead of buying all this stuff before.
Yeah,
you know?
like
if
I think it's
that-
part of the adventure, though. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Because you're not gonna know like what's the best to get like when you get in. So like there's no justification in saying
like,
just jump to the
The
top.
thing is, like, everybody that, you know, if you're a kid and you look up, like, what's the best starter, this or that, like, everything that's going to pop up are people trying to sell guns, you know? Like, it's going to be, like, Jet the Desert Fox.
Yeah,
Making
like,
a sponsored video. Like, but realistically, like, what I'd say is,
Yeah,
like,
like,
if you go
hindsight is
and
20/20.
you really like it, like, you want to start investing in it, like, instead of buying a starter gun, like, save up and just buy a good gun, because you'll eventually end up doing that anyway.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
obviously,
like
that's
that's
is
way
something you're gonna
different.
do.
Like the comparison between like Gen 3s and it's the same thing with the conversation I had with the guy, which eventually turned out to like I hate the way, because I was like being very serious about it and he was being an asshole. And then when, you know, I was like, I'm not going to debate a Gen 1 versus Gen 3 because that's a stupid debate to even defend Gen 1s versus Gen 3s. But, like, a PTW versus an AEG is a totally defendable debate, especially when I've invested about $500 internally into my... Not even $500, about, what, like, $200? That's with the BTC, the tech work, and then, like, a new motor and piston. It's like $200-ish in versus like his $1,000 stock like PTW, which he said he spent 12,000 on, or not 12,000, 1,200. Like, you know, like that's a defendable argument considering my Crytek with a BTC has equal or better performance, considering I get precocking, I have programmable precocking, programmable all sorts of fucking shit. I have Bluetooth enabled on the fly
Shortened trigger mod.
yeah, plus a shortened trigger mod. Like, yeah, like Sistema, ooh, bolt lock. Ooh, cool. That's fucking totally like, and let's face it, if you're not maintaining your mags, guess what? The bolt lock feature doesn't work. Like, if you don't maintain your electronics, it doesn't fucking work. You know, you can't even get precocking on a Sistema to work. You can't. It won't. It doesn't work. It doesn't. There's no electronical way to do it. I believe there's a mechanical way if you rotate your planetary gears in a certain. I don't. But that. But the difference in like fucking Gen 1s, and like this is the point that I'm getting to with your statement of like if you knew that you would get into it, like, then why don't you just buy Gen 3s off the bat? Well, like, some people just don't have $7,000 sitting here. That's like a majority of a car payment.
No,
or like
yeah, but what I'm
payment.
saying is if you save up, like,
Oh,
you're
like,
saving
yeah,
money.
like, yeah, if you save up, you will save money.
Because what's gonna happen? Okay, let's say, like, I think the best way to go about it, like
but
I would go about
I don't
it,
think you just
if you're gonna start from the bottom and work your way up, like get a 14, and then once you have enough money for another 14, you get another 14.
I mean, that's what
And,
I would do. Like that's my plan.
That's how
is
I'd
to
go
just
about
do
it if you're going to like start from the bottom and work your way up. But
because to be honest, I don't want to get like I think that like dual tube is cool, but I would rather have like a dual tube 14 because the ability with the dual tube 14 is a little bit better in my opinion, because you can remove those, you can remove one tube and then like put it on your gun, and that way you have a proper cheek weld and night vision capable aim down sights. Fucking Call of Duty. But you get what I mean. You have the night vision capable red dot systems. And
yeah, but you can do that with Sentinels too.
no, you can't. You can't rip the fucking Sentinel off and plop it on your gun. Get the fuck out of here. No.
It might not be the Sentinel, but it might be one of the Anvises, but I know there's one where you can pop off the tubes and they make gun mounts for them. But like always getting like an actual dual tube is always going to perform better, just because when they're made, the tubes are a lot more similar, so it's a lot easier, for your eyes to, it's like, if you have two different tubes.
Oh, yeah, like I feel that, but
different performance out of the tubes. Like just obviously, if you just get dual tubes,
I can't justify getting
nines, whatever.
I can't justify getting 9s or Sentinels, which are what, like 5 to 7 grand. I just can't justify getting those for like what, the like 2 national ops I might go to like in a year. I mean, this would Caspian's gonna be what, my second fucking national op ever. It's gonna be your second national op ever, and like I just can't. I can totally justify getting a $3,000 brand new like 14 or like a 1,700 blemmed 14. Like I can totally justify that. But like in the sense of like someone who wants to, like, I am saving up to own a house, I'm saving up for a new car, I'm saving up to, of course, like expand my arsenal, and like I hate it when fucking, I'm so cringy that I hate the use of arsenal when it comes to my collection of airsoft guns. I think that's a little bit better, but like I'm trying.
Only need one.
It says the guy who has 3.
Two.
What? Where's your fucking 1911? That's one. What happened to your katana, my dude?
Oh, I'm trying to sell it.
But like, or just get more gear. Like, oh, hang on, you only need one fucking mini-map, my dude. Hashtag
Wrong.
is fake.
Wrong. Yeah, so I gotta get another real one.
You fucking fuck yourself. I mean, I will say though, like having that setup where you have one on your front and one on your back is fine for, like, in my opinion, open plays and saws, because
my setup is my setup.
Because it makes sense. Like in my mind, that makes sense. But like for or just meme softing, like that's cool. But in other senses, like it's kind of stupid.
I don't think so. You're just wearing a plate carrier because it's a plate carrier, not because it's the most effective, way to do things.
Oh, I've been
like, you don't need to stop a real bullet.
No, but I have an extended I have an extended missions if we want to talk tactics and we want to talk capabilities, I have an extended mission capabilities with my plate carrier. I can carry more per square footage of gear. Yes, I can carry more. Okay, I have.
If you have one bag on your back, and then if you're like talking straight up mags, like you have more immediate access mags, but overall I'd be able to carry more.
Wrong. Wrong.
How so?
Wrong.
Tell me how.
I have 8 mags on my play carrier and 2 on my belt line. And
That's way too many.
No. And then I could scale it up and I could put general purpose pouches on my cummerbund, but I decide not to. But I have my HSP fucking, what is it, the flat pack? I have that on my back. So I have that to extend my mission capability. And if I need to scale that down in any way, shape, or form, I just go for my D3CR with the flat pack. So I have 4 immediate access mags, 2 small general purpose pouches, 2 like pistol pouches, which I can stuff with speed loaders or a flashlight, and then the stuff with pouch for a radio, which is all I really need. I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have worn that to Balcar Ridge instead of the plate carrier, but I didn't feel over encumbered from the plate carrier, so but like, and like you said, my setup is my setup. Like, whatever I'm efficient with.
No, like
no.
by that I mean like you should only have one setup. And
but that no, like
that setup.
But how can you say that when you're fucking the idols you look up to, GMR, they have multiple setups. They have multiple. They have like yeah. Look, dude, fucking Ronan has a chest rig and a plate carrier setup. Of course, he has his JPC and his chest rig. Fucking Paul has his Doms. He has an LBT chest rig and his plate carrier setup. So you can't even start like complaining or quoting that. Derek from Geist Designs, he runs both a chest rig and his, well, he runs only his like made shit, but he has a chest rig and a plate carrier design that he runs. Like, it's okay to have multiple designs. Like, I get it where you're streamlining everything and like you're making basically one setup to do everything. And I understand that's like another like GMR mentality. You know, where, you know, like, oh, my setup is my setup, and I know exactly which video you're talking about. It's the PTW video, where, you know, like, people go like, oh, like, I have a DMR setup, and I have a rifle setup, and I have a CQB setup, and fucking Rona goes, oh, like, this is a setup for everything, because we have the quick swap, pistons, my dude. And, like, I get that mentality, like, I understand it, like, because I had that mentality way back in the day, but like, it's okay to have multiple setups and have a diverse gear collection or a diverse gun collection. It's fine to have that. It's perfectly acceptable. Like, because in my opinion, that sort of mentality is kind of like almost just as bad as the why is the speed softer here at a Milsim event mentality. Like, why are you spending so much money on this or that or this or that? Like, you're not gonna, like, you could say that shit to Big Rob or Little Sean for that shit, like, and guess what? They're not gonna listen to you because they don't care about, like, if they would instead of buying MP40s and shitty AKs, they could have probably equally as good guns as you and me, but they don't give a shit. You're
exactly right, but they're playing a different game.
Yeah, well, no, we're all playing Airsoft. Don't start cutting it. Don't, like, it doesn't matter where we are mentally in the game, because we're playing Airsoft. Like, it doesn't matter just because you have elevated yourself mentally as a superior person who only wants to work on yourself and like just be the best you can be. That's totally fine. That's your mental game. But physically, you're still playing Airsoft, which means that you're better than no one else. You're not, because a hit on you is a hit on you. A hit on me is a hit on me. A hit on anyone is a hit. You're out. So, you know, like, yeah, like, we can all preach, just have one setup that works perfect for you. Like, you can preach that, but that's a mental game. You know, and that applies to people mentally who are in the same category as you, but physically we're still all playing Airsoft, so it doesn't apply to people like Big Rob or Big Sean or Jason Angelic. Fuck that kid. It doesn't apply to those people. And You know, like, again, mentally, it's kind of on par with the people, like, just because you're shunning, you might be doing it subconsciously, because I know I've done it subconsciously when I had that idea of having one setup for every situation. And I did. When I ran my 511 play carrier, that was my one setup to do everything. I had my Crytac to do everything, and you know, I had my one helmet setup, and I had one of everything, and it was just to do everything. And you know, I kind of shunned people who had like Big Rob. I shunned him. You know, like, of course I didn't go like, you're a fucking faggot, but like, I thought less of him as an airsofter because he had an MP40, and I'm like, okay, like, it's a gun that I don't see every weekend, but like, why do you have it? It's $100. Oh, you have another $100 gun? Oh, you have like 4 $100 guns. Instead of buying 4 $100 guns, you could have bought like a Crytac and upgraded it with the spare money, but instead you bought these guns. And I fucking shunned him. Or like, you know, he has all these guns and he could buy better gear, but instead he's like rolling around with like what looks like goddamn Mad Max knee pads, or like SWAT armor fucking knee pads that go all the way down to his boots and then lay over his boots, and instead of just like buying Gucci gear. But
I mean, that's what makes the game how it is, though. You know, like, everybody has their own way of playing it, and like, you know, he's out there to play it that way. But like,
what I'm saying is
the reason I think it's just the most effective way of doing things.
But what I'm saying is that mentally, that mental thought is no better than the people who shun speedsofters for being speedsofters, because they see it in the same sense as it's the most efficient way to do stuff. And I agree. I think Speedsoft is kind of like, it's not the future of airsoft. It's nowhere near the future of airsoft, but it's revolutionized the way it's played, and it's become a more aggressive and a more sport-like manner where competition is starting to become favored in airsoft. And I understand,
like, everybody plays for their own reasons. So some people are out there to just have fun and like collect the guns and, you know, try to look the coolest, whatever it is. But like, you know, like, with anything I'm gonna do, like, if I'm gonna invest time into it, like, you know, I'm gonna try to be the best that I can be at it. Like, I'm going to, you know, like, that's just how I am. I don't know if it's just like being like competitive, you know, like, whatever it is. Like, I want to be, you know, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to give 100% effort into it. And, you know, that's why, like, and if I'm not going to give 100% effort into it, like, I'm going to quit doing it, because it's not worth my time. It's not worth anybody's time for me to do something if I'm not going to put in 100% effort. And that's just how it is for me. For everybody, it's different, though, you know, like, everybody's doing stuff for their own reason. And like, I've really played to have fun, and like, I have the most fun by being just the best I can be. I want to be the most effective I can be, like, just all around. Like, I mean, just like I keep saying, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it the best I can.
Yeah, but your argument there is different than what your argument was like 10 minutes ago, which is you don't need all this shit. Like, you made that argument. Like, you said you don't need this setup, you know, like, or, you know, have that one setup. That's completely different arguments. I agree with the one that you just said. If you're gonna do something in any aspect of life, no matter what it is, do 100%. Like, don't fucking half-ass something, and just do it. You know, like, I eat, sleep, and breathe airsoft at this point. Like, I think about it like all the time. I think, you know, like, I'm always taking my gear off my shelf and just reconfiguring it, or trying different things, moving pouches, and wearing it sitting in my fucking chair, pulling magazines out, putting them back, putting them in my gun, doing reloads over my bed all the time. It's fucking annoying, you know, and for me it is. And, you know, I'm trying to always subconsciously think about, you know, like, oh, like, is this applicable to airsoft? Or, you know, could I do this instead of this? And, you know, on the field, and I know it's actually a very what's up, Roar? It's just very applicable for well, let me backtrack considering I'm rewording it, but you know, on the field, and something that's starting to become more and more sort of in tune with the Octane nature is that if we mess up, we take a hard think about it. You know, we haven't done it in a while because we honestly haven't gotten wiped too many times playing in recent, but you know, we try to at least mentally, individually, we try to assess the situation and not do that shit again. You know, if we put ourselves into a shitty situation, you know, just relapsing mentally the events that occurred and then play them differently in our head to see if they work, or, you know, take another go at it and approach something different. And that's something that I've been kind of preaching. And I know I preached it to you guys like a couple years ago, but ever since Octane really kicked up and we started getting really serious about it, I know Tice, you got super serious about it, but like the idea of like, if you're in especially in airsoft, if you keep mashing two people together, you know, like it's kind of an open play mentality where, especially in like unlimited respawn games with close like proximity to other people, if you get hit by a dude and let's say, you know, he gets you and he got you really good, you know, and you knew he was there but he just outplayed you, you're gonna get more and more angry, and you're gonna keep trying to play that same position but try to play it in a different way, but you're still in that same position, same scenario and same situation, that you continue getting outplayed from this dude. So but you continue to do that because you think that you're better than that, and you are. Let's just say you are. You are better than that, but you're frustrated, so you continue to do stupid things. Where I like to take the practice of, you know, especially like in that situation where it is a close proximity open play scenario with unlimited respawns or anything like that, I detach myself from that situation, remove myself, and go somewhere else and try to do some work otherwhere, or you know, in another place, to preoccupy my mind away from that previous, you know, life, and then when the opportunity pops up, I try to take care of that engagement, you know, or try to take that guy out, but from a way different like a way different avenue of approach, you know, or the idea of like where you have a bunkered in enemy and then you have people attacking, and let's say I'm on the attacking side, and this has happened numerous times with me and a couple friends where we're attacking a hunkered down enemy, and it doesn't matter if they're following the rules or not, but we always get to like a stalemate where we're just kind of shooting at each other from about 100 feet away, you know, not real close engagement, so like people are just kind of ducking in and or out, and it's a little too far to really tell if you completely hit the person, but eventually the attacking team always goes, they're fucking cheating. And well, like, no, you can't sit 100 feet away and just continue to plink them and attempt to plink them. If it's not working, move somewhere else. You know, try a different avenue, try a different technique. You know, if like you are in fact just blasting out a window from 100 feet away, they don't call it, or you can't get that opportunity to push forward from that current position, like, try something else. Get your buddy to suppress that position while you move up, and then you suppress from a closer position, and then he moves up to a different position, and, you know, do a bounding maneuver. And that's
I feel like we definitely just need to work on a lot of stuff like bounding and setting ambushes, and, you know, just like not just like trying to brute force, like just use our aggressiveness to, you know, just pound out an enemy. Like, I don't know, I just think that's where we need to go, and I feel like that's probably the biggest thing holding us back, because like if we could get that stuff down and, you know, like work it like a machine, and just, you know, if we get in a situation, we know what we're going to do, we do it, we execute it, and you know, like we achieve whatever goal we're going for. You know, like with a lot of people that are playing, and like I'd say like a lot of the speed soft mentality, like they're out there, you know, they're counting their kills, they're trying to get the most kills. And you know, a lot of people that are just, you know, speed softers or whatever, I feel like they go about it wrong. Like if you're, you know, they want to be, you know, get the most kills as fast as you can, like, you know, just keep hammering it out just like a meat grinder. But like in the long run, it's like if you can stay alive, like the kills are going to come. Like if you develop the skill set and all that, like the kills are going to come, you know, like it's just going to happen. And that's why I feel like it's just the most effective way to do things. It, you know, it's like, it's the reason why, you know, you don't see people in, I guess, the real world, you know, they're not just going to rush into a room with a paintball mask on and, you know, not be worried at all about what's on the other side, whatever. Like,
Except
you
Sandy
know,
Hook.
they're going to do it. What?
Said except Sandy Hook. It's greasy. I mean, I'd like to actually add on that. I mean, like, and I'll let you finish it, but I would just like to say, like, a good mentality to have is that every firefight you should survive it. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, or your team wins or lose, but because ultimately whoever wins a firefight is whoever has the most surviving people. Not if you get 5 people that, like, you know, it's a 5v5, you get 3 people down and then you rely on your other guys, the rest of your guys, to take out the other 2. Instead, you should be more or less worried about the survival of your team, instead of getting as many kills in that engagement and then letting that pan out how it will pan out. You know, and go ahead and finish your thought.
Like, I just think there's a very fine line, because obviously it isn't the real world. So, you know, just straight carrying over real world tactics like some people do, you know, there's some people that they worship the Marine handbook of clearing rooms, and, you know, that's how they do it. But like there is a point where it's like it is airsoft and things are different, so you do have to play it different. And I feel like a lot of speed softers have that different part down, you know, like they get that it's not
They have that disconnect.
Yeah. And so, you know, everything, I guess speed softening tactics are kind of like, you know, directly derived from just like paintball and the sport.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, if you're gonna try to start playing airsoft a lot more serious, in a case of like, I'm gonna insert Octane into this, into the example, for instance. So if you're gonna try to play airsoft a little bit more serious, like Octane, where obviously Octane's, I'm not gonna say it's split down the middle with half speed soft and half milsim, but because ultimately when it comes down to it, Octane's a group of friends, and that's all that matters. But if you're gonna start playing more serious, where me and Tice are sort of mentally, where we're trying to consistently improve, and not constantly, but consistently, basically like taking consistent steps. You're not taking a baby step then a big step. You're taking continuous steps, or consistent steps, to improve yourself, and not staying stagnant. Then you should start making that disconnect, and taking advantage of the large disconnect between airsoft and real steel. For instance, like just in magazine capacities, for example, your average standard mid cap has 120 rounds, and your average AR, you know, rifle magazine has 30 rounds, depending which side of the Atlantic you're on. You know, whether it's, you know, Western, you know, United States or Eastern Russian, it's still 30 rounds. And same pretty much goes for airsoft. It's 120, whether it's AK or M4. And if you can just make that disconnect where it's like, oh, like I just put in a fresh mag, I have around 100 trigger presses to suppress someone, then you can make that disconnect, and you can, you know, utilize tactics and well, not tactics, but techniques like pre-firing, or techniques like aggressive suppression, where you're laying down for up to 30 seconds at a time, aggressive semi-auto fire at a whatever hole it may be, a doorway or window, and you're making that at more or less, like it is a very hard disconnect to make, because I used to never pre-fire, and I used to never just spam down a hallway. I would always have to have visual connection with that person, and then I would squeeze. But, you know, like, having that connection that it is just a game, and the rules do not apply to the same, like, rules of a firefight. For instance, like going into a doorway. You know, the way I've always taught, well, not just taught, but taught myself. Like, I shouldn't say taught, because I'm not like some Navy SEAL. I'm not fucking, you know, some airsoft Navy SEAL. You know, I'm a regular airsoft dude. But the way I always kind of taught myself and told myself to go into a room is that I should do most of the work from the outside, because I have some cover. You know, as soon as I break that door frame, I have no cover. You know, I can use the left side or the right side of the door frame as cover from the outside, and I can just pie my way in and see whatever I can see. And that way I have cover in case I get shot at. I can peek back in and not, you know, get that hit. Because remember, in real life, like, it's all about shot placement and shot volume and ballistics and, you know, all that jazz. But in airsoft, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where they hit you. They could hit you in the toe, they can hit you in the top of the head, they can hit you in the hand, they can hit you in the shoulder. It doesn't matter. You're out. Where in, like, real life, like, you know, if someone hits me with like a 9 and like I'm not gonna say chest, because like 9 to the chest, especially like for like some not so hardcore motherfucker, like that's gonna put you down. But let's say like a 9 to the shoulder or the arm, like that would like cause severe damage, but definitely not put you out of the fight if you're going through a doorway. Where, you know, like in airsoft, a BB anywhere takes you out. So like, just if you're really serious, make that disconnect. Take all this stupid fucking, like Ty said, take the Marine Corps shit, take the Navy SEAL shit, take all that shit and fucking throw it in the garbage. Like, you can totally make an impression kit about that shit, but you don't have to use that tactics. Like, you don't have to be the, oh, fucking frag out, and you follow the frag in as soon as it goes off. Like, fuck that shit. Like, if you start, like, stacking on the door and someone starts pre-firing that door, don't fucking go through it. Fucking make that conscious decision to go, fuck this situation, and I'm gonna back the fuck up. And be serious about your play. Be smart about your play. You want to start talking about local news, considering everything Airsoft wants to keep asking about?
Yeah.
The fucking, okay. Alright, we'll get to it, everything. Alright, so, also, Balake, if you're still watching, thank you for tuning in. Tristan, if you're still watching, hit us up in the chat, my dude. But recently, so we did allude to this like way early in the stream. The Great Oppression occurred. Octane and some friends went to assault Airsoft Indoor. We as far as I understand, people were complaining about the blade triggers on I think it was Brandon's HPA and Jared's HPA, and
Tristan has one too.
Oh, I didn't know Tristan had one, but I don't know anything about an RPS rule, but I do know that the new trigger rule. I do think the ban for the trigger and spring rule are stupid. And this could be low-key because it is aimed almost exclusively at friends of Octane and Octane Tactical. And I should kind of put this as a disclaimer. Octane Tactical will take full responsibility of things that go wrong with our team. You know, whether it's a team member who does something stupid at a field or we break the rules, we'll totally be accountable for that, and like we'll admit to it, but we will not take accountability for our friends who have nothing to do with the team, which, by the way, if you don't know, anyone who's on the team is a full-fledged member with equal say. Basically, right now there's 7 members. That means that there's 7 shares of the team, which means that everyone is an equal member of the team. There's no one who has a higher say than anyone else, which means that we're all equally responsible for the team's actions. Okay, so in end of that rant, basically, I understand someone got banned who wasn't on the team, and I wasn't there, but Brandon was there and Devin was there, but I don't like it when a field exclusively targets and makes rules to like strictly just to oppress people and oppress a play style. And I've made this argument, especially with Heist, in this live chat, or well, live stream, that I don't think it's okay to oppress any sort of play style or any sort of mentality behind the play style. I think blade triggers are a safe thing because, to be honest, I could probably run a blade trigger just as fast as Jared can, considering I come from a paintball background. And also, you can equally run a blade trigger as fast as you can a single trigger as fast as you can run a blade trigger.
Jared can shoot his V12 without the blade trigger faster than his V12 with the blade trigger.
Yeah, and it all comes down to responsibility. As far as I know, there was no rule breaking occurring other than the person who got banned. There was that rule breaking, but there was no rule breaking on the emphasis of the blade triggers and the 0 spring rule. The 0 spring rule is stupid. Again, that's a total nitpick rule against friends and Octane. I see no safety issue, and this is not me being like prejudiced against it. I honestly see no safety issue if proper precautions are taken place, such as safeties being used properly, such as disconnecting your line. And as far as I understand, technically and like the mechanics behind it, I don't think that a 0 trigger or 0 spring trigger mod can be used in any other capacity other than HPA. And as long as like air is disconnected before you leave the arena, you clear the gun, disconnect your air, put the safety on, basically turn all the safeties of your gun on, and then leave the field, there is no issue with a 0 spring. There's also,
if you're following the rules that are already set in the first place, like having your mag out, having your gun in a safe direction, like it legitimately poses no threat. If you break one of those rules, then that rule's broken, and that rule's already in place. Basically, so that's what this is disguised as. But what it really is our group of friends is being specifically targeted, so we can't use, our specific guns, and whatnot. And I don't know, I guess there's another rule set in place where if 3 people complain about somebody, they're instantly banned. Or, I don't know, it's obviously it's like more than that, but basically once 3 complaints are received about somebody, action is taken. And I don't know, I guess there was enough complaints about our team, that rule had to be put in place. It doesn't really matter because we'll never go back to the field anyway. But so what I just think is stupid is that somehow word has got around that our whole team, like when this happened, I was 12 hours away in a whole nother state, and somebody accused me of full autoing someone. Well, not full autoing, but trigger spamming someone in the face. And I'm 12 hours away.
Yeah, not
like,
even in the same
at
state.
the beach, and somehow there's a misconception that me personally, I was there, and like we all did it. And so, you know, like clearly we were singled out. Like that just got me upset when I'm 12 hours away and I hear that all this is going on, and I hear that I stitched someone in the face, like, and overshot someone.
Yeah, get over
I
yourself.
don't know.
Get over it. That's stupid. People.
And then, you know, like I just feel very singled out. Like I'm sure we all do. Like I went there with a saw, and as soon as word got around that I had a saw, saws were no longer allowed. So, and then I see pictures posted, you know, from the field when I'm not there, and people are using saws. So it's whatever.
We'll get to the RPS. Well, actually, we'll get to the RPS.
Like we've already talked about the RPS limits and stuff. Like it's stupid, it's retarded. There's already a rule in place for it. It's called not overshooting, not being a douchebag.
Yeah.
If you have a super high rate of fire and use it to overshoot someone, then you get punished for it. If you have a super high rate of fire and you're legitimately not overshooting someone, it's not a problem. Like high RPS is not a problem. Like the biggest, so if any of you guys are in a lot of like the news in the Airsoft Ohio groups, like you'll know that
come on.
There's been a bunch of conversations lately about like, you know, is HPA a big problem? Is RPS a problem? And after, you know, rambling back and forth from both sides and stuff, the main argument that the side of yes, it is a problem is them saying that it's unfair. And the way I see it, like, I just see this as excuses. Like, people are making an excuse of it being unfair and it requiring no skill. So if it requires no skill, like, why don't you become a better player and be able to combat it that way? Like, be a better player, get shot less, you know, like outplay the other person so they can't use that to their advantage. You can use it to your advantage. I mean, I just, it's a dumb argument, I think. I think, you know, there's been rules in place for years and years that have worked, and those rules, you know, like there's rules already in place to combat this stuff.
Yeah, it is just an excuse based system of just complaining about a system. Because anytime I hear complaints about Polar Star, like people who use Polar Stars, not Polar Star use, because it's always, anytime I hear, like, it's always the guy with the Polar Star, like that fucking guy with the Polar Star. That's all I hear. So it's not someone even like singling out or like using his gear to define that person as a shitty person. It is always them blaming the system first, or using the system to basically make up the difference in skill level. You know, basically saying that Polar Star guy is only better than me because he could afford a Polar Star, when the case is really not that true. I have been for instance, me and Tice, we have used stock guns for like a couple years now. Tice with a KWA and me with a Crytac. We've used fairly stock guns for the majority of our time playing, and we have had very little difference in our experiences with like running against Polar Star players, where, you know, we don't make that excuse that, oh, that Polar Star player, you know, or, you know, we've never really made that excuse. We've always kind of kept it in the realm of reality, and in the realm of that person is just better than us. But he happens to afford a HPA setup. And I will say this: HPA is a wonderful engine to use if you have the means of affording an HPA engine and being able to utilize it and have the willingness to deal with a HPA line. I for sure am not. Then more power to you. You have the ability to use the same setup for all sorts of different, engagement distances, FPS levels, RPS levels. You can change it all on the fly. Like, that is super cool. As long as you're obeying all of your field's rules, tourney lock rules, and everything like that. Like, more power to you, my dude. Like, it all boils down to responsibility and skill level. And, like, if you outplay me, I'll never be like, oh, like, you only got me because you have HPA. Not like, oh, like, I'll be like, oh, you got me because you were clearly the better player in this situation. And there's just, and yeah, everything airsoft.
Yeah, you brought up a really good point. Half of the people I see complaining about it, they would be running HPAs if they could afford it or if they had access to it, 100%.
For sure.
And think about this. Like, legitimately think about this. Do you know more people? Have you met more douchebags with AEGs or with HPA?
Because I have to honestly think about it, and it's not on the basis of whether or not they have a whichever engine they use. I have to base this on the money output, and I do have to also base this on the fact that we are at that level where we're putting a lot of money, a lot of our own money into the sport, which kind of puts us in the same category of what I'm gonna explain. But I should say that the top tier guns or the top performing guns are usually more or less easily acquirable are HPA. That's the easiestly acquirable top performing guns. But overall, and it does skew the difference between and I know it defeats the purpose of you even asking me that, but I have met more people who are douchebags who use HPA, but it's not their misuse of HPA, and it's not the fact that they have HPA. It is the fact that they are disposable income douchebags who like to brag about their disposable income.
Okay, so I would have said the same thing a few months ago, I think. But realistically, just thinking about it and thinking super deep into it, I've realized it's just more light gets shed on the HPA douchebags than the AEG douchebag. Because I think 100% without a doubt, there's way more cheaters with AEGs.
You said you used the word douchebags. You didn't use the word cheaters because.
Well, I mean, just to kind of sum it up, you're kind of taking it in the wrong way. I didn't mean elitist douchebags. I meant people who abuse the game or whatever. They cheat or they are out there to, just ruin the game for everybody else, whatever it is. I'm not really talking about elitist, because, yeah, I see what you mean. You're exactly right there. But I'm talking there's a way better chance of running into a cheater or just someone who's making the game unfun for other people. There's a way better chance of running into someone like that with an AEG than an HPA. It's just the people that have the HPA, HPA has such a, it just has that name behind it. So people always associate that. And I mean, even when people don't even have HPAs, they can have AEGs and be cheaters or whatever. People accuse them of having HPA.
Yeah, I'm actually
always
guilty
associate
of that last one.
People associate being it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I get that point. And I think it's more or less that HPA is still the minority, but for the exception of one team, SRT, I think that is correct. I mean, you do find the more cheaters and the more shitty players are AEG users, and I think it just boils down to, and we made this argument before, that people The main source of cheating is A, rule set, and B, skill set. For instance, like, to be honest, like, I'm gonna call out Warden real quick. Warden's rule set basically promotes cheating. Most, if not all, of their games are low respawn counts and far walking distances to respawn, and that promotes cheating on the basis that A, someone doesn't want to go out of the game because they ran within 5 minutes and wasted 3 of their lives, and B, they don't want to walk like up a hill to go respawn. So that promotes cheating on 2 accounts. Also, the skill set. And it has nothing to do with what field you go to because it's going to be everywhere. Tice has made this argument 50 times already that the people like me or Tice, the more veteran, more, you know, focused players are by far better because A, we're focused. There's some people who just don't have that same focus on airsoft, and they just see it as a hobby where they don't see it as a lifestyle or more than a hobby, because there's like, lifestyle is a little too far for me because it's not my lifestyle. You know, like, well, even though I just made the argument that I eat, sleep, and breathe airsoft, but fuck it, I'll use lifestyle. I'll admit to it. I'm like the weeaboo of airsoft. I eat, sleep, and love the shit. So, but there's people who sees it as a side hobby. It's not their primary thing, and when they get outplayed, you know, they think that at that time they're at the top of their game, but they're really not. And when they get outplayed, they get upset and they more or less cheat. And I've realized this with a lot of different fields and a lot of different communities within at least Ohio Airsoft, that happens. And so, like, that's to sum all that up. That's why cheating happens. And then, of course, like, you know, because to wrap into the HPA versus AEG douchebag thing, a lot of those people who cheat because of their skill set, they more or less, like, it is their side thing, so they don't put as much money into whatever their primary is, you know, like whether that's like cars or motorcycles or, you know, versus airsoft. And so you're gonna find more AEG cheaters than you are HPA cheaters. But don't ever rule out that everyone on HPA is not a douchebag. You're no matter which system, you're gonna find a douchebag.
So this is the direction I think things have to go. It's too small of a community for, you know, people to get banned and just to do away with cheating. It'll never happen. The best thing you can do about it is get that much better where you can kill them before they even have the chance to cheat. Now, that might be shooting them in the neck 10 times. And, like, if I have to shoot someone that's cheating in the neck 10 times for them to call it, I'm not going to feel bad. If I accidentally shoot someone in the neck 10 times and they're, you know, they called it on the first time, I'm going to apologize, you know, like, that's not right. And, you know, I'd never do that on purpose, like, but, like, you know, I think that's what has to happen. And I think the reason why most people would say there's way more cheating now is just because how, like, girlified, I guess is a word you could use, like, it's become to make it more accessible to people. I guess mainly younger players. Hello.
Oh, we got you.
All right.
Well, it took you an hour.
I thought that my mic was broken because
you only throw it like 5 times a week.
Yeah,
like Brandon throws his dog 5 times a week.
The Hunter's a stressful game. You don't understand.
Hey, chill. My dog only throws 4 times a week.
Oh.
You eat your dog 4 times a week.
I want to have a dog ban. But the neighbors don't have one.
Chill. I already know your mom's sitting in the backyard. Oh, come here, Poke. You're going to taste
He's probably in his car.
Yeah, she got a whole bag of treats, not for our dog, for the neighbors.
To lure him over.
Yeah. She traps him.
Going to stir fry you up. Gotta
So you
look
go
out for
selling
them
to the,
Tiger Moms, my dude.
#1 kitchen to down the street. Shout out to them. They the plug.
Here's the man of the hour.
Let's see if he can figure out how to
Hello?
talk. Hello?
Just talk. It's probably on voice activity.
What?
No, there he is. Welcome. This is Tristan. Tristan was recently
My brother.
euthanized from the field, also known as banned. So I haven't got to hear a lot about it. Tell me how that went. I want to hear about it.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to let everyone know that I was in the wrong in the situation and I deserve to get banned.
Like I've told, the people that accused me of also being there that day and overshooting people, even though I was 12 hours away. So yeah, clearly, just to make it clear, Tristan shouldn't have full autoed anybody. It's against the rules. He broke the rules. He got punished. But so okay, just go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Also disclaimer: he's not part of Octane Tactical. He has no affiliation with us. He's just a friend. All right, go on, Tristan.
All right. So you want me to just tell what happened?
Yeah, go top to
Yeah,
bottom.
I
dude.
haven't got to hear about it. The only thing I've got to hear about is how, what I did, even though I wasn't there.
Yeah, I only saw Brandon's video of it, so. Well, the video of you guys pulling out of the driveway, so. Tell everything, my dude.
All right. So I think it was the last game of the day. And me and Devin, we were low-key running it. And we were just playing. I went around the corner. There's a dude there. He shot me. And then I started walking back. And then Devin knew exactly where the guy was. So he goes around the corner. And he shoots him. So he lays into him. Guy still doesn't, I think he threw his hand up. I wasn't, there to see it. And then the guy kind of got mad. When he was walking back, he turned around and he shot Devin in the ass for no reason. So then I got turned around. End of story.
Dang, I didn't know about that.
The guy
And
was
I'm sure he was
throwing
not
names.
punished at all.
Honestly, low-key a little justified. I don't condone just
Did you give him the 40 or the 30?
The 60.
What mags you got, bro?
High caps.
Explains
what
it
kind
all.
of high cap speed at 60?
Mine.
The good ones.
Honestly,
The
alright,
ones that you throw around
whoever's
everywhere.
watching, I just want to see your guys' opinion. But low-key, I kind of see that justified. If you take yourself out of the game, whether that's if you're gonna cheat or you're gonna get revenge on someone shooting you like that, obviously I would have much preferred that dude not call his hit and shoot Devin while still staying in the game. But as soon as you call your hit, you forfeit any and all reason to discharge your gun on another player.
Tristan, here's my question: did he get banned too?
No, I don't think so.
Then that's messed up.
Hey, tell him they're
thing
trying
that
to force him to do to you.
It wasn't he didn't try and force it. He just kind of gave him the option to call the cops on me.
Wow. Well, you kept reminding him.
Yeah. He said it'd make a good example, which it would.
Yeah. We should know better, though. We don't want the cops to get involved.
And no one likes the ops. But what was funny about it was I started to run away.
You melted away after it.
He knew he was in for a hurting.
He saw you had a hose, dog. Oh shoot,
Yeah,
I'm dead.
At
What?
that point,
And-
both of you are out of the game. That's essentially like getting in a fight. I mean, that's it's not cheating, it's not anything like that. It's trying to hurt someone. It's purposely like using it. The only reason you pulled the trigger and the only reason he pulled the trigger is to hurt the other person.
Yeah.
Right.
Low-key though, like
Both sides should be banned.
who the fuck shoots someone in the ass for getting bunkered? Like, out of just like being upset. Like, obviously that dude like probably low-key has autism, and I mean like I'm not even saying that that's just like what someone with autism or some other social inhabitant skill would do, where they like, or not skill but mental, like, disability, where they like go and like, they sort of break the rule, or like, like attempt to hurt someone within the atmosphere of the situation. Like, for instance, one of them is like, an example would be like playing catch or like playing baseball with someone, and someone gets out. For instance, like, let's say you 3 strikes, you're out, whatever, and you grab the baseball out of the catcher's hand and beam it at the pitcher for getting you out. Like, that's like some autistic shit that you would hear of. Maybe not a good example, but obviously, like, it's utilizing the atmosphere of the environment to cause harm onto someone because in your mind you didn't get a fair treatment, or you got outplayed and you're frustrated.
All right, I have another question. Was your gun chronoed?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was his gun chronoed?
I don't know.
Because from what I heard was that you guys were the only ones that had to chrono that day.
Yeah, they're usually on our meets about it.
And that's pretty much how it was the last time I went. Like, chronoing was like kind of optional.
Mm-hmm.
The person that was chronoing asked me to chrono for them.
We the weekend before he got banned, Justin said, like, I don't know, I guess I overshot the kid with like too much. Like, he came in the office like so many like bullet holes, but I don't recall overshooting anybody, honestly.
No, I mean, I'm sure.
So you got it on
like,
GoPro. I want to watch it.
Yeah, that's why, like every time I play now, I run the GoPro. Like, even if I don't plan on like uploading gameplay from it, just so I have that to be like, yo, I can show you the footage. Like, it didn't happen.
The Cameron situation where he got mad at you for burning kids.
Yeah. So, I mean, a little while back, like, I think I talked about this in a previous podcast, but like, I got accused of shooting some kid 20 times. And basically, I'm sure the reason why I was accused personally is just because I guess I'm a good player, and maybe not even the fact that I'm a good player or whatever. It's probably more that I have a fast shooting gun, whatever. So basically, I was accused of shooting some kid like 20 times. And, like, keep hearing about it, and I'm like, yeah, that definitely never happened. So I go back and look at the footage, and I have footage where you can hear, like, you can't really see it. You can see me not shooting at the kids. Basically what happened was there was another group of players that were full autoing into the bushes, which full auto is allowed at that outdoor field. It was at Warden. And I guess they overshot the kids that were in the bushes. And so then, like, the only thing I did was go up. Like, I heard the kid start crying because he got hit a bunch. It was like his first game ever. So I like walked up and told the ref, I'm like, hey, I hear someone crying over here. I'm not sure where they are, but like, I just told the ref about it, like, and like, cleared my name off the wanted list because I was recording. And, like, just stuff like that, like, get accused of something, like, and then, it's always like that. If you have HPA or an upgraded gun, like, you're always overshooting, it's just, you're always oppressed. So
Why can't we all just run stock?
because
for everybody.
Yeah, low-key, like, it's not
it
even
would just
HPA. It's just if you don't run stock, people hate you.
no. It's just what it would boil down to
Because
then
I'm
is
too
if you
poor
were
to
better
get
than
into
someone,
anything other than stock.
they'd find something else. They'd find another excuse.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That's what it comes down to in the end. Is it's just going to still do a complete full circle, and somebody's getting blamed for something because you either shot them or they think that they shot you. Which I have one pet peeve in airsoft, alright? And that is when you're sitting there, like, yeah, it's either you get hit or you get hit, alright? Like, if you get hit, call your hits, obviously. But if you're sitting across the field, like 200 feet away, and you're screaming that you're hitting me or you're hitting somebody else, like,
The people
what are you doing?
they hear BBs hitting around them and automatically assume someone's trying to overshoot them.
Well,
That's
like,
just like how the whole thing's just been
I-
babyfied so much because so many people do that. And like on YouTube, all you see is quit overshooting and get overshot. And, you know, like RIP kid, like I feel like that had a huge
I still
impact
think
on
that-
HPA.
Can
I
we
still
also
think
just
that
talk
was
about like
big.
people misusing dead rags?
Oh my god.
Like how
Yes,
like
please.
people get hit in the leg, like the calf, you know, and they'll put their dead rag on their head, but all the person can see is their calf, and they yell in the general direction in which you're getting hit from, and they go, "Don't you see my dead rag?" And like they yell it as loud as they can. Don't you see my dead rag? And like if you just wave it down by like where you're getting hit, that person can see the dead rag. And usually like the dead rag, whether you know like whatever in Europe for some reason it's yellow, that's like the dead rag. But either way, like in here in the States, it's red. You know, red is dead. You know, wave that where you're getting hit. That's a smart move because it signifies like, especially like in low foliage, especially like where we play at Warden. For some reason, all the trees like to droop down and like cover up basically torso up, so all you can see is like moving legs in some areas. You know, like put it where you're getting shot. Or like the people who put it on their head and then like droops down over their face and then they turn away from where that person is shooting them. So like you see the red flat, like the red, you know, rag, and then they turn away. Like I immediately assume, because sometimes Warden does medic games or anywhere, if you do a medic game, you have a dead rag on. When you're back into play, you put it away. And at a distance, that looks like someone just put their dead rag away and they're back in the game, so I'm going to continue to shoot you. And just people, in overall, people don't know how to use their fucking dead rags. So stupid.
Last weekend that I went, actually one of the only weekends I've went for a while. There was this dude that was behind. You know where the car is in Warden?
Yeah.
Well, he was backed
Well,
up
which
against
one?
the
'Cause
one
there's
that's
three.
Like the
right
G,
in front of
like the overgrown
No. It was like
SUV.
do you remember where we were shooting into that side piece? Like okay, there's that road that comes down, and then there's like the gate or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
kind
know
of right beside the gate. So I'm sitting in this building, all right, and I'm shooting this dude in the leg. Okay, like he's crouched down, and I can only see his leg. So I'm shooting him in the leg, and I guess he put his dead rag on, but he didn't move. Like he was actually he flinched, moved his leg, and then moved his leg back out. So I was like, okay, well he's not dead. So I kept shooting.
That reminds me. Okay,
and he got straight up and started yelling at me. I'm like, dude, I mean, like, I can't do anything about it. Like,
just the last weekend I played at Warden, I was up in the tower with my saw, so I'm allowed to full auto from the tower with your saw. It's the only building. It's the only place where you can full auto inside if you have a saw. So there's like these pallets in the airfield, and this dude was on the other side of the pallets. His head was sticking up over the pallets, so I kept shooting him in the helmet or whatever. And it, you know, I guess he called his hit eventually, but he pulls his dead rag out and he had it down by his waist. All I can see is like his head. and like he's still looking over this way, and I keep seeing his gun peek around the corner. I mean, he was probably just like, moving around, whatever. But like, so I just keep shooting this dude, and I'm pretty sure he ate quite a few BBs, probably was a cheater. And, that's always the funniest thing when the cheater has a fit after he does eventually call us it, has a fit about him getting overshot. But, like, he didn't put his dead rag where he was getting shot from. So I never knew he was dead. And then, like, eventually stands up and he's like, "What the heck are you doing?" Like, throwing a fit.
Have you ever talked
like,
about...
There's plenty of things you can do in that situation. Like, you can kneel down and get your head, stop exposing your head after you're dead. You can put your dead rag on your head. Like, I just don't get how people can get upset when they're being ignorant. And then, like, just to wrap up the whole, like, oppression, like, I'm really, like, just so done with the whole situation. I'll just never go back. There's been plenty of other times people have, abused full auto, broke the rules at the field. Like Lion Airsoft went to the field and they thought someone was full autoing because they were trigger spamming. So they thought that gives them permission to just start mag dumping people. They were legitimately mag dumping people. I was standing there watching them mag dump people. And they were not banned. They got no repercussions whatsoever for full autoing, like mag dumping people. Like, not like shooting a burst, at 60 rounds per second, which, realistically, how many of those feed? It's who he probably, I'm sure Tristan didn't hold the, trigger down for a whole second, which is like 1001. So, like, whatever. But, like, Lion Airsoft, they were running HPA and upgraded AEGs, so they're just mag dumping into people. And, like, multiple of them, They did the same thing to a ridiculous magnitude, and they got no repercussions. So, it's clearly, like, our group of friends is targeted just because it's, like, a personal thing, I guess. So, that's just what upsets me. Like how other people can use their saws, but I can't.
When did the rule occur that if you can spam your trigger faster than full auto or similar to full auto, that it shouldn't be allowed? Like,
I don't know about that.
At that freaking... No, like, when we were
At
at
Sector
the...
7, they said something. Oh.
I got Warden, like, he was talking to Jared about... Because he could spam his trigger on his amoeba pretty fast, and I mean, that's the way it's upgraded to do. And he literally was talking to Todd and them about it. Like, being legit. Like, he was just being like, that shouldn't be allowed because he can spam just as fast and it's pretty much full auto in buildings. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a stupid rule that people have been trying to push on.
It boils down to responsibility. It's all it is. It's people making rules to hinder others who have the capability and the ability to perform better, and it's just them coming up with rules to even out the playing field in a sense. But they almost go too far. They don't keep account, like, because no one's breaking rules and no one's being unsafe. I've never seen Jared, like, or anyone who runs HPA who we know and we actually like and we trust to go, especially like at Warden where there is like a 10-foot minimum engagement distance, to go in within that 10-foot MED and just start lacing people up. I've never seen that happen. So,
like, and it's just, like, I can speak for everybody, like, all our friends that run HPA, because you know, they might run the high RPS, but they make sure if they're shooting at a high RPS that their FPS is low. So, you know, like it kind of balances out, because obviously they don't just want to, you know, they don't want to hurt people. Like, Wyatt, everything Airsoft says we're cutting out.
Let me check the stream health real quick. I have 0.1 drop frames, and it says the stream health is fairly healthy.
I just got an untypical.
Shut up.
I don't know.
It took me
how
a second
far they,
to remember what a non-typical is, and then I realized you're playing the hunting game.
No. You don't understand. Like, this is a dope looking deer.
0.1 drop.
Anyways, Brandon, Tristan, is there anything you want to say? Because, I mean, we are coming up on 2 hours.
Mag dumping should be a law.
Did you say something, Tristan? Because I didn't hear anything.
No.
All right.
I mean, the only thing that I would say about the situation that I got into is that I realized that I was fully in the wrong, and I went to go apologize, and like the guy didn't have any of it. He was just being a complete dick about it.
See, and then that's a big step to realize that you did something wrong. And, like, even afterwards, like, that makes you the biggest man. Because, you know, obviously he didn't want to admit that he did anything wrong. So, I mean, it's good that you realize what you did was wrong. I respect you for it. But yeah, like, it's just, what it boils down to is we have been oppressed. My unalienable rights have been impeded.
Unalienable airsoft
I
rights.
trigger spammed somebody in the face, even though I was over 500 miles away.
But it was still you, right?
Had that,
that
dope sniper. I had the Novert sniper. Trigger spam with that.
Today I'm playing with my SSG 24.
What's up, guys?
You do it so much better than me.
So yeah, that's all I got to say. Like,
It's better because you practice.
it's the world we live in.
YouTuber.
Sucks because the only, you know, all it does is make me have to drive further to go play somewhere else. So
I'm fine with that.
Would you guys be willing to go back to assault if rules changed?
I don't know if I want to play at a field where the management tries to recruit dudes off of Octane to go onto the shitty old house team. So I don't know about that.
That's all I needed.
it's beef. So
Yeah, like I ain't gonna go
it's
to a
not
place
like-
where I don't feel welcomed, or because
yeah, I mean,
like
I feel
to
like
be honest,
that's probably what they want. You know, they probably don't want us to come back, so we won't
Like,
come back.
it's just it's not like everyone knows I used to work there, and ever since I left, I've heard like I shouldn't say horror stories because that's like making it worse, but I've just heard of people talking shit about me, people who I've never even known, like I don't know, like other than like, oh, like they play airsoft and I play airsoft. That's the only like that's the furthest extent I know that person. Like they hate me for some reason, and I've never even played there.
Never
like,
played with them.
Yeah, I've never.
But they still accuse
they
me
hate
of
me.
trigger spamming someone in the face when I'm in a different state.
So
It's cool.
yeah, I'm just not gonna put myself in that environment. And I mean, like anyone who is like who hates me for some reason, who ever stumbles upon this video and makes it this far in, like just come down to Warden and just experience Warden and have fun, or like go up to Sector 7 and experience that. You know, like that, or just hit me up on Instagram or anything like that. Like, I'm not a bad person, and I think it's a petty attempt of the management to take it out on previous employees, because we left, and you know, we saw that. Like I said, I've made numerous public statements that I left because of financial reasons, and I stay away because personal conflicts happened between me and the management after I left.
Oh yeah, just to make another thing clear, like I just saw a review the other day about the 24-hour app we went to. We were called staff. Like, we're not staff. Like,
We have
figure
nothing
that
to
out.
do with
Like,
that.
I can't stand going to fields and they ask, "Aren't you the ref from Assault Airsoft?" Like, I used to work there. I don't still work there.
So,
Dang, that is one heck of a catch, Hunter. Hunter
Good
just sent us
job.
the picture of his deer.
it's pretty
How many
big.
points is that guy?
Not there. You can't score it from points because it is non-typical.
Whatever that means.
That means that I'm better than you.
Bet.
Tice, you got anything
1v1 me.
going on tomorrow?
No, I'm trying to play somewhere, but I don't know. I just haven't played in forever. I'm trying to play.
I'm gonna go to. I think
we
I'm
can
gonna
all
try to go
figure
to
something out. I mean, if not, like, to be honest, we could hit up my place and just like do training. Like, if we want to do that.
I'm game for that. I'd rather do that than go up to Sector.
Yeah, it's just
I do want to give
it's
Sector
not
another
worth the
shot,
drive.
but yeah, it's not.
Yeah, like that's why I didn't review it on Facebook.
Like,
because,
for a
you know,
last
like,
minute, like,
they
oh,
did
hey, let's
say
go.
they. Yeah, and I mean, I'll take their word that they were understaffed that day and whatever. Like, I don't know. So I'll give that place another shot. Probably not tomorrow, just because
Yeah.
like I just got home. I have nothing charged, whatever. So I'm just not trying to go anywhere that early in the morning. And that's why, like, because there's a bunch of places tomorrow that are like at the 2-hour drive mark, but it's just not it's not possible. I don't know.
It's fine. Dude, I haven't played in what, like 3 weeks now? So, ain't nothing. You want to wrap this? Guys want to wrap this up?
With me?
I mean, if I think we kind of covered everything that we want to cover, and then some.
Or we promise the next one's going to be positive.
Yeah, bunch of stupid positive stuff. I guess I'll just
Semi-positive.
semi-positive.
Neutral. Whatever. Thanks for watching, everybody that's watched this far. Thanks for the support, guys. Like, it's actually pretty cool. So yeah, like, check out the website and stuff. Check out the Instagram, you know, just check out all the stuff. It's easy to find. So
Yep.
yeah, you gotta get out and play everything.
Yep. Yeah, Ty said it. Website's down in the description below. OctaneTactical.com. We're always looking for new guys, whether it's Octane Gang or Octane Tactical. All the shit's on the website, underneath the recruitment page. Also, we're gonna at some point we're gonna get one of our first our next blog post up, so keep an eye out for that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So
We'll do that.
yeah, we got to do the July debrief, and then we actually have another article coming up about one of the weapon systems that we run. So
It's pretty dang.
So
All right.
keep an eye out on that. Any other last
Oh.
minute plugs?
I got a bunch of Gucci goodness and like some Cry AOR2. Oof.
Quit
And then
flexing.
just got
Quit
the reversible
show your
DCU night camo. Like,
smock, the Gore-Tex one that you're gonna try to wear. I guarantee you're gonna try to wear next weekend and then burn up.
if it's below 70.
It's below 70. Ooh.
I don't know.
No.
It'll
Chill
soon
out with
enough.
that.
You
Like,
gotta
I
know.
keep
Chill
taking
out.
like field shirts to wear, but it's just too hot. I just end up wearing a t-shirt.
All I'm saying is I'd rather wear Snow Raptor.
Goodbye.
That's a whole nother sort of cringe. All right, guys, we are done. That's all we had for tonight. Bye.